Hi there, it is Ayelet from strengthinwords.com, and I am here. I'm going to be talking through my latest podcast episode, which is called What to Do with Baby. You can find it at strengthinwords.com slash EP71, EP71. And basically what I'm talking about today is how do I best support my baby's learning, right? So as many of you know, I released my first book in May 2018 called Understanding Your Baby, and it's a week-by-week development and activity guide for playing with your baby from birth to 12 months. And today, what I would like to do is just to give you a little bit of insight about how I became the person to write this book, right? How I am the person. So a little bit of background, I am a speech language pathologist, and for the entirety of my career, I have been working with early communicators. What much of my focus has been is in early intervention, and that's birth to 3 years, right? So when I became a mom, it really dawned on me how much more work I had to do as far as that parent education piece. So I want to just give you a little bit of background and give you the rationale behind what I do with Strength in Words, and what I do with families of infants. So here goes. Regardless of who you are, where you came from, what language or languages you speak, you and I and anyone who considers themselves to be a parent or caregiver are each ultimately responsible for raising humans. And when we understand more about how humans all over the world develop and learn, we feel more empowered to parent. So regardless of whether you are a first-time or a seasoned parent or caregiver, when you have an infant, you are in the thick of it. And anyone who's watching right now, I'd love for you to just tell me who you are, whether you have a new baby or if you are a parent of a toddler or you work with families with infants and toddler. Go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. I'd love to hear who you are. So here's the thing, right? Regardless of how much or how little we think we know about the babies, there's so much to learn. And I want you to remember that we all feel vulnerable and we all want the best for the children in our care. So at Strength in Words, hi, Angela Stevens, welcome. We're not aiming to cover those divisive topics on which we sort of tend as parents to stand, vehemently behind opposing lines, right? This is about our babies. This is about you. Angela says she's a mama to a 3-nager and a spirited 6-year-old. Awesome. So I have a 4.5-year-old and a almost 2-year-old. Oh my gosh. But if you ask my 4.5-year-old, he is 4 3/4, of course, right? No mistake. So here's what I want to provide at Strength in Words and what I think I do provide. And if you are a longtime listener or you just found me, go ahead and check out the Strength in Words podcast, right? Because here's what we do. I want to provide gentle support to help you connect and connect with your baby, right? So that you can move forward together through those first years of caregiving. So what we do is we mix the developmental research, right, the science, with the creative ways to support those developmental stages that your baby moves through. I call that the art. We're going to get to the heart of what it is to be a caregiver of an infant and a toddler. So infants and toddlers learn through observation, through imitation, and through interaction. And when we learn more about what play looks like using very simple materials, we feel some peace of mind that we all crave as parents. So peace of mind, I think, is what we all want, right? We want to know that we are doing all that we can to raise decent human beings, not just decent, remarkable, wonderful, amazing human beings, right? That's sort of the goal, I think. So that is what I try to do, and I aim to provide at Strength in Words. And that's the kind of community that I'm fostering, and that's what I'd like to begin to offer you with my book, Understanding Your Baby. It is all about finding joy in the mayhem, right? Parenting infants and toddlers is insane, as you know, Angela. And it's crazy. I'm not going to tell you that I can take that away because I can't. But what I can do is to help you find the joy in the connection and to start to build the foundation for a lifetime of learning. So let me tell you just a little bit about my journey into parenthood. I was 10 weeks pregnant with my first baby when my husband and I moved across the world. And I was surrounded by new people, new customs, new systems, and I was struck by the newness of that journey toward parenthood. And I was really focused on creating connections for myself. And when my baby was born, I decided to combine my professional background and my desire to create a safe social learning space for my baby along with other caregiver baby pairs. So I started to devise a curriculum that was based on my own developmental knowledge, that of my friends and colleagues in early learning, and a ton of developmental research and information and experiences that I integrated as a mother along the way. And through this process, I learned a few things. First, I learned to become a bit more confident as a mother. I learned to listen to myself and to my baby and to other caregivers, distilling information that was pertinent to me and to my baby and of interest to the other caregivers around me. And perhaps most importantly, I learned just how powerful knowledge can be, right? There are so many divisive topics in the world of parenthood. And in the beginning, I was really very fixated on these issues. I think we all are, right? Because the choices that we make about how to nourish and support our babies feel all encompassing in those early days of parenthood, right? But these are individualized and personal choices. So I searched for information, and often I was met with experts and solutions when really what I needed was knowledge. So when I stepped back and I remembered how much I actually understood about how babies learn, I began to feel more connected to my baby and more empowered as a mother to make decisions about all aspects of parenthood. And when I shared that information with other caregivers, they felt the same way. So this is the whole point, right? Now I want to share it with you. So my professional background, thank you, Angela. Angela says, how cool. Thanks. Yeah. So I want to start by saying that I certainly do not know everything there is to know about infant development. I don't think anybody does. So that said, over the last several years, I have sharpened and deepened my professional knowledge as a practicing pediatric speech-language pathologist. I have mothered my way through two very different early parenting experiences, right, Angela? I don't think you had exactly the same parenting experience with your two, but correct me if I'm wrong. And I've also interviewed countless professionals about the ways that we can support infants and toddlers in the areas of cognition, communication, motor and sensory, and social emotional development. And I've read a good deal of the developmental research and the literature that informs how and what we practice as professionals in the world of early child development. Angela says, no, not at all. They were not the same, right? Because no two humans are the same. So much of my professional background is in early intervention, and I've dedicated my career to working with early communicators, primarily with infants and toddlers and their adult counterparts. And in the world of education, that term early learning often refers to children who are not yet school-aged, but maybe they're in the preschool years. But we know that babies are learning from day one and even before. We know that their parents and caregivers are learning too. And those first few years of life set the stage for the rest of our child's life. Now, I do not say that to add to the incredible pressure that we have as parents and caregivers to do enough, right, for our children. That weight is already more than sufficiently heavy. But in my mind, it's all about simplification, right? We desperately need to simplify our lives. We need access to quality over quantity, and our children need high quality interactions and opportunities to engage with the world, not the latest learning toy, right? We, their caregivers, need access to high quality information and high quality interactions ourselves, and an opportunity to reflect upon what's working and what's not working, not a million mommy blogs and fancy craft ideas on Pinterest. So when we as parents and caregivers feel confident that we have access to resources that actually make a difference, we feel empowered to do that big job of raising tiny humans. And as an early interventionist, I strive to work within family-centered practice. This means that I help families to maximize the opportunities for play and development within naturally occurring everyday activities and using materials that already exist within the home. So instead of being the therapist who, walks into a family's home with a magical bag of therapy materials, I see my job with all families, regardless of your child's developmental level, as that of a facilitator, coach, helping families to see the power of routines-based intervention and focusing on routines that are most important to that family. And a routine is really any activity that is regularly occurring, that has fairly predictable steps, and that has a clear beginning and a clear end. And we all engage in different kinds of routines in our homes, right? Regardless of whether we work at home full-time or we're out of the house working full-time. It's the same. Because we have things like caregiving routines, right? Eating, dressing, washing, play routines. That might be something like infant massage or dance parties or book reading. Social routines like performing a finger play or playing peekaboo or tickling, or even, greeting, saying hello. What else? And of course, daily tasks. Right? So getting the mail, putting on shoes before we go outside, things like that. So when we can identify these and then maximize their value, we can make a huge difference within simple activities that we are already doing, guys. At Strength in Words, we create resources to improve the quality of your family's interactions by sharing easily digestible information that increases your knowledge about early development. So come and join our community of families. Help us spread the word about Strength in Words. So here is the key. Because here's the thing, right, that I really want you to take away from all this. You already have all of the right tools to support your baby. You just need to know how to use them. So when you learn to recognize the tools that you already have to boost your baby's development, you are able to maximize the time you have with your baby. You're empowered to get it right. And you are able to unlock the power of these everyday routines and everyday objects to figure out how to play with your baby. So I invite you to learn how to maximize these preciously brief moments because they are the ones that build big brains. So if you would like to confidently support the infant and or toddler in your life, even if you feel like you're winging it most of the time, I invite you to come to strengthinwords.com/start-here. Because when it comes to connecting with infants and toddlers, there is no one-size-fits-all approach or solution. But if you can take a moment to tell me more about yourself, I will give you the recipes to more confidently play with and support the little person or little people in your life, designed specifically for you, absolutely free. So come on over, and I cannot wait to play with you. That link is right up on top, and it's strengthandwords.com/start-here. So go ahead, leave me some comments in the sidebar there. If you have anything or any reactions to that, let me know now. I see that we still have a couple people watching live. I'm here. I am always available to answer any questions that you have. So go ahead and contact me, let me know, and join our movement. Spread the word about Strength in Words. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to playing with you more. Bye.